You know, I went up into space recently. So here's the thing. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? 2 years ago, a young man, a very talented producer, said to me, "Hey, Blue Origin is going to send a rocket up, and they're going to invite like 4 or 5 or 6 people to go. It'd be a great match. You go on the Blue." I said, wait a minute. Nobody's interested in me going. Oh no, Bill, they would. No, they would. So he suggested to Blue Origin, which is the arm of Amazon that's shooting these rockets up there, and they say, "Well, come up to Seattle and let's talk about it." So we go up to Seattle, and they say, "No, that's very. I think we should. Maybe yes, I think we'll do that." And we leave, and COVID hits, and everything stops, and a year goes by. And then they announce they're going to shoot the rocket out. And my friend, the producer, says, "You see, they're going to call any moment," and they don't. They announce that Jeff Bezos, head of Amazon, is going to go up. So I'm thinking, well, Jeff Bezos is going to call me and say, "Come up with me," and he doesn't. He chooses his brother. So he and his brother and 2 other people go up first. And I say to Jason, the producer, I said, "You see, I know, nobody's interested." He said, "Maybe they'll take you on the second one." I said, "But the second one's like being vice president or something. You know, nobody cares about the second thing. Jeff Bezos went up, and that was it." They asked me to go on the second thing. So I'm thinking, why do I want to do that? Every time my family would go on a roller coaster ride, they'd say, "Come on, let's go." And I'd say, "No, I don't need the thrill of going on a roller coaster ride. I sit in front of a lot of people and don't know what's going to come out of my mouth next. That's a bigger thrill than you can have on a roller coaster." Now, why do I want to go up into space? And why do I want to feel jeopardy? Why do I want to feel like I could lose my life? There's something in me crossing the bridge, I guess. Because a couple of months before I went up there, I did a program with Jeff Gates. I did Shark Week. Why would I want to do Shark Week? And they say, "Well, we'll go underwater." And I said, "Okay, I'll do Shark Week." And so I found myself on a boat, because I've been a diver for quite a few years. I'm on a boat outside of the Bahamas with Bahamian experts. And I've got the mask, and I've got the tank, and I'm looking down, they're chumming the sharks to make sure the sharks, and I'm looking at a half a dozen sharks swirling around. And the Bahamian experts as well, you see, the most dangerous time with sharks is getting into the water and getting out of the water. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? What's that? Okay. And I put my hand to my mask and I jump in and I get through. And I go down 60 feet and there's a rock there. And I sit down on the rock to watch what's going to happen. And as I look over there, from here to that young lady, are 4 tiger sharks, 18 feet. So what is it, at 18 feet between you and me here? That 20 feet? So somewhere between this distance is this 4 animals this size with mouths the size of this black box. Why am I doing this? Why? I no answer. Just, my God, look at that. And at one point, the shark started to come this way, and this Bahamian behind me went out and pushed him aside. Wow, my God. Later I said, why were you by? He said, well, sharks are ambush predators, and they come from behind, so I've got your back. God, what am I doing? And then I look over here, and over here, from here to that speaker, is a lady whom I had met. She had come down as a tourist and she stayed 30 years because she loved sharks. And she's loving sharks so much that she's surrounded by sharks. She's petting the sharks. And then as I look over there, she comes towards me carrying a 5-foot shark. And she puts the 5-foot shark in my lap. And I'm thinking, what am I doing here? And they're all wearing chainmail in case a shark bites them. I'm not wearing chainmail. Why haven't I got chainmail? And I'm stroking this beautiful little shark, big shark. Now, I have seen, that if you turn a shark upside down and stroke it, it goes into a catatonic faint. They faint. Now, that's bizarre, except that we now know that orcas know that. How would an orca know to turn, because they turn great whites, which is the only bigger predator than a tiger shark. They turn great whites upside down and they stroke him, nice little white, and then they eat its liver. How would they know to do that? So I'm petting this shark, and I'm thinking, oh, it's in a faint. And inadvertently, I put my finger in the gill, and the shark swims off. It wasn't in a catatonic faint. It was alive and ready to bite me, and I wasn't wearing a suit. Now I have to get out. And I remember the guy saying, the most dangerous time is getting in and getting out. And so I'm climbing the ladder. I swim up through the sharks, and I'm climbing the ladder, and I know that one of the sharks said to the other, look at that asshole. Okay, that's not for kids. So now I'm sitting on the rocket, okay? I'm in a seat like this, and beneath me, they're putting hydrogen and oxygen in a tank. And they're gonna put a match to it momentarily. They're gonna put, and I remember seeing the Hindenburg documentaries. You know, where the Hindenburg down, and people are running from it, and the announcer's going, oh, the humanity of it all, and we're all crying because we're seeing this great airship destroyed. You know how it was destroyed? Hydrogen. Went up the line that was anchoring it, static electricity, and lit some hydrogen in the back, and it exploded, and the ship. People died, the ship died, and everything, and all the humanity. And I'm lying there, realizing they're putting hydrogen in a tank and oxygen. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Then it explodes. But it explodes in a conditioned way, and the rocket takes off, and it goes up. And it goes up faster and faster. And then it goes 2,500 miles an hour. And the G's in your seat, and I'm thinking, I don't know whether I could survive this, because I had walked up 11 flights of stairs, and to get up the gantry, I had walked up 11 flights of stairs at 4,000 feet altitude, and I felt, about after 5 flights, I'm going, and that's not a good picture for Captain Kirk. So I thought I had proven myself going up 11 flights, but here I am with 5 Gs, and I'm going up, and finally, we reach the apogee, and we're in weightlessness. And people have asked me, what's weightlessness like? What's weightlessness? There is a word for horse that entered the vocabulary of the Proto-Indo-European language. Way up in the steppes of Russia, where all our languages came from. Fascinating. The word for horse appeared. So archaeologists figure Well, now that's when the domesticated horse entered into people's lives, and they invented a word for it. So weightlessness really doesn't have a word for it. There's nothing we can describe, nothing I can describe, because during the 2 days of practice, of training, because what you had to do was in weightlessness. Now you're weightless, flying around, and you got your seat here. Now you're about to go down, and another 5 Gs, and if you don't get into this seat before those 5 Gs hit, you could be hurt, like die. And the whole idea here was to get this thing here, get this around here, pull down, get your feet in here so you can press your body down. Meanwhile, your body wants to, no! And you clip in here, and then the thing I had the most difficulty was the crotch strap. It's a 5-point harness, and I'm trying, and you're floating, and this thing here, and then the waist and the shoulder, and finally I get it. But prior to getting into that seat, I'm in weightlessness, and I'm looking out the window. And the window's big. Window is like about that big. And I'm looking out the window, weightless. Like the other guys wanted to play games. We'll go, and they'll say, and we'll get. No. I'm going to be looking out the window. So I'm looking down here, and the skin of the earth, air, is 50 miles wide. There's 50 miles of air, starting with some density on Earth, and then it disappears about 50 miles above. And we're going 2,500 miles an hour. So you can imagine how quickly you go through the air, which is how we stay alive. And there was like a hole in the blue air where the spaceship had gone, like a submarine, like the wake the water was now coming back to fill that hole where the submarine had been. This was a spaceship going through the air, and I'm looking down at a hole in the blue, and suddenly we're out of the blue, and I'm looking at blackness. I have had some things to do with the cosmos. I mean, I've been, talked to people, the universe, and black holes, and raging stars, and light that's coming from 13.8 billion years away, and a photon of light. Nobody knows what a photon of light is. Yeah, it's a photon of light. It's a particle. What do you mean it's a particle? Well, it's a wave. It's a wave and it's a particle. Nobody knows. They're all talking because there's all this black energy and black matter between. So nobody knows anything. They're just saying, oh yeah, well, I think there is. I'm looking at black. None of the mystery of space is there. I'm looking, if anybody's been in a cave, when they close the door to the cave and the darkness is like, you could feel it like black wool. That's how black that was. That wasn't mystery and romance and little green men coming in. That nothing. That was death. Death right there. And right here was life. And nurturing green and beige and white and all the nurturing things that we know of Mother Earth. Death, life. And then the most incredible feeling, because I'm the age I am, and so statistically I'm gonna die before anybody else in this audience, okay? Now, you may die before me, but it's highly unlikely, okay? I'm gonna die before you. So the idea of death is very like there. Again, in the album Bill, I write about loneliness, and the last line of the poem of the song Loneliness, will there be anybody there at the end, is the last line. That the extreme loneliness of dying. I mean, we're born alone and we die alone, and so who knows? I'm looking at the earth and this great feeling of sadness. And I don't know why, because I've been immersed in the ecology of the earth and the bewilderment of how it was made and where life came from and then how things evolved. But particularly, I feel so strongly about the beauty of the way the earth is, even then, way back, millions of years ago. But